Greetings, comrades. Hope this finds you well. Quick shout out to the Indie News Network. Making a little video while baby's sleeping here. So, pretty interesting article from being put up by Liberation News. That's the news kind of media outlet for the Party for Socialism and Liberation here in the United States. And title of the article, paraphrasing, I'll link it down below, is that Mainland China had only 2 deaths from COVID-19 in the year 2021. 2 deaths. United States, I believe, had 445,000, and China's population is obviously multiple times bigger than the United States. And again, it just really shows when a government is actually looking out for the best interest of the people, how they handle the pandemic. China is a great example of that. So they will have these targeted lockdowns where they will have these mass tests, where they have these mobile test units that, do the PCR test where they can test literally millions of people each day. If they have to go on lockdown and quarantine, they will be, those people in those areas, those provinces will be delivered food and other necessities. There's also, the businesses are required to pay the workers during these lockdown periods. Home ownership is also very high in China. I think it's like 89% home ownership rate. So there's no, eviction crisis like we're having here in the United States. And that throughout this process, they've also been, improving things and, being critical when there's things that need to be improved, learning from their mistakes, learning from their shortcomings, not doubling down on them like has happened here in the United States, as we're over 800,000+ people have died from COVID-19 here in the United States, and less than 5,000 in a country of 1.3 billion, I believe, in China. That's their population. And again, it's probably slightly underreported, but that's true for any type of epidemiological, data, whether it's here in the United States or in China. But just how they've handled the pandemic swimmingly well just really shows when a government, in this case, the Chinese, the Communist Party of China, I should say, is in control, the socialist country, really looking out for the best interests of the people, how you can actually handle a pandemic as opposed to this super capitalist hellhole here in the United States, where we'll probably be approaching they're sleeping, a million dead sooner than later, and almost all of those deaths could have been preventable if we had handled the pandemic like China did. And our article also pointed out, China learned a lot from the SARS, outbreak that happened there in 2003, and they set up these kind of emergency public health systems that would go into place, very quickly during, these type of, pandemic type events that have happened. And we see the exact opposite here in the United States, how it's very, very jumbled. Each state is doing their own thing. There's no direction or real help coming from the federal government at this point. I mean, we have Joe Biden just saying Google COVID test site, and he's saying the states are kind of on their own, just giving off big failed state vibes and saying there's not going to be any more lockdown because the economy is doing good. Because that's all that really matters in the United States is, if the capitalist class is doing well, then fuck the poors, go to work, die. We gotta keep the stonks up. We gotta make sure Wall Street and the corporate sector is doing good, when the complete opposite rationale is being used in China during this pandemic, and just during the whole period of socialism with Chinese characteristics, right? They're looking out for the well-being of the people, right? And again, that's why less than 5,000 people have died in a country has a population over 1 billion when the United States is what, 350, 380 million, something like that. And we're over 800 plus thousand dead right now. And again, the United States has the wealth and the resources to, go on these, targeted lockdowns and quarantines and to do mass tests and to make businesses pay people to stay home, or have the federal government pay people to stay home and deliver basic goods and necessities. But we have a capitalist system here that is designed to make profits, not designed to look after the well-being of the people, whether it's during a pandemic or outside of a pandemic, right? So it's not surprising, 800 plus thousand people dead in the United States from COVID-19 is a very much expected result of capitalism, right? It's a system that puts profit above people's lives, and just really, really disgusting, but not surprising. And also not surprising that China has handled the pandemic swimmingly well, where they only had 2 reported deaths from COVID in a fucking year, when the United States had over 400 fucking thousand. I mean, for fuck's sakes, I'd much rather be living in China right now. If I could convince my family to move there, I probably would, frankly. I mean, Jesus fucking Christ. How nice would it be to live in a country where the government takes a pandemic seriously and they're able to provide these mass tests and then quarantine, and then they send food and other basic necessities to your home, and home ownership is almost 90%, and they're requiring businesses to pay you during these lockdown and quarantine periods. Again, it just really shows what is possible when, when they have a government that is looking out for the best interests of the people and not for the capitalist class. So shout out to China, shout out to the Communist Party of China, because keep doing what you're doing. It is amazing, and I think I'm probably not the only one here in the United States wishing that we had a functioning government during a pandemic. Like the video if you like the damn video. Subscribe for more content. All part of the people. Peace. Much love. Quick shout out to the 2 Uber comrades supporting my channel, my partner, and Indie Left News. Peace.